morning student. This is the lecture of object oriented programming using C++. We have already started our first chapter, that is principles of object oriented programming. Okay. In the last lecture we have seen the object oriented languages and application of object oriented programming. This is our last point of our second point. And next, C versus C++, that is what is the difference between C language and C++ language, structure of C++ program and simple C++ program. Okay. Now we will start our fourth point, that is tokens, keywords, variables, constants, basic data types, user defined data types, typecasting operators and expression. Okay. In this session I will try to complete 2 or 3 points. Before that we will see what is the learning outcome of this session. After completion of this session, you will be able to explain basic terminologies, that is what is meant by tokens, what is the definition of variables, what are the rules for writing the identifiers. Okay, so basic data types, user defined data types, typecasting operators and expression. Before going to start this session, first I want to show you how to write simple C++ program. Okay, so for that, now you can see here what it is the editor to write the C++ program. It is a Turbo C++. Now here, if you want to create file, any new file to write a CPP program, first click on the file. After that, here are the some sub menus, that is new, open, save, etc. So to create new file, select new. After that it will give us a blank file having name, that is no name 00.cpp. First we have to give the another name to this file. So click on file, after that click on save. Here it is the path where our file will going to save, that is in C drive, in Turbo C3 folder. In that there is one bin folder, and into that bin folder our file is going to be saved. So now change the name of the program. Suppose this is our first program, so I am giving the name first.cpp. Now .cpp is the extension of this file. In the C language, what is the extension of our file? That is .c. And for the C++ program, the file extension is a .cpp. Now click on the OK. After that you can see here, this is the name of our file, first.cpp, and from here we can write our program. So what is the first step to write a program, or what is the first statement? In the last lecture we have already discussed that our first statement must be a include statement. Okay, in that we have to include header files, and that header file contains the inbuilt functions, and to use that inbuilt function, first we have to include the header files. So to include header files, first we have to give the hash, it is a preprocessor, and now write the include opening bracket iostream.h and closing bracket. This is our include file. Now next, What is the next? Okay, here we can declare class. In that class we can declare data members, that is variables. After that member function, that is function. But this is, we will see into the second chapter. Now this is a simple C++ program. So I am going to write directly main function, that is void main open curly bracket. Now here we can declare a variable, that is suppose integer number 1 comma number 2, and suppose sum. In that variable we are going to add the number 1 plus number 2, and suppose subtraction. So here we have declared 4 variables having data type integer, that is number 1, number 2, sum and subtraction. Okay, now what? Okay, we have to take input from the user. In the C language, what is the input statement? That is a scanf. But into the CPP, the input statement is cin. Okay, so here we are using the 2 greater than operators and number 1. Now again we want to take input for the number 2 also. So number 2, enter. Now up to here we can take input from user for the number 1 variable and number 2 variable. Now write the operation, that is sum equal to number 1 plus number 2, give the semicolon. Okay, also for the subtraction, write sub equal to number 1 minus number 2, semicolon. Okay, after that now we can after that in the sum variable the addition of these 2 numbers will be stored, and the subtraction of number 1 and number 2 will be stored into the subtraction variable. Now it is turn to print the output or display the output. So in the C language, which is the output statement? That is a printf. But in the CPP, cout is used to display the output. So cout here first we have to display addition equal to sum. Sorry, here we should give a double inverted comma. After that cout here subtraction equal to here what? Sub. Now complete the main function. Okay, now what will happen? We already see the features of the C++. In that there is one feature, that is it is a compile based, means without compiling any program we cannot run it directly. So first we have to compile this program. For that here is a compile menu. Also we can use Alt F9, it is a shortcut key to compile the program. So first we have to compile program. So see here there is no any warnings but and no any errors. Now we can run this program. So click here and run. Okay, now give 2 inputs. See here there is no any single message because we have not given the sentence to the user, that is type or give the input for the number 1. Okay, so directly I am giving here two numbers, that is 12 and 6, but it will not display us the result. Why? Have you remembered the getCH function which is already used in the C language? This getCH function is used to display the output on the screen, or it is used to display output screen. Okay, so we have to write getCH function here, getCH. Okay, before that, this getCH function is stored into which header file? Correct, into the conio.h. means this getCH function is stored into this conio.h file. So we have to include conio.h header file here, and also what? Clear screen, which is used to clear the output screen. Again we have to compile. Now before going to input or write the input statement, we have to give the instruction to our user, that like enter two numbers for num1 and num2, semicolon. Okay, now compile it again and run. Now see here, what is our output statement? That is enter two numbers for number 1 and number 2. Now write here first number, that is 12, second number is 6. Now see here, addition equal to 18. So 12 plus 6 is 18 and subtraction is 12 minus 6, 6. Now you can see here the output. This is your simple program to add and subtract two numbers. Okay, now you can familiar with how to write a CPP program, or it is your first CPP program. Now we want to, if you want to close this editor, click on file and click on the quit. If you want to save this file, then click on the S. Now here type exit. Okay, this is your simple CPP program. Now let me start the fourth sub point. First is the tokens. Before that, I want to tell you that the character set used in a C++. And suppose when we start to learn any new language, take example of an English language. Suppose if I want to learn English language, what will we start it from? We will start from the alphabet, that is A to Z. After, by using this alphabet, we can create words. Okay, see here how to start learning of any new language. First we have to know the alphabets of that language. In the English language there are alphabets like A, B, C, D up to Z. In the Marathi there are alphabets like K, K, G, Gh. Okay, so like that, if you want to learn new language like CPP, first we have to know the which character set is used in the CPP language. So again I will continue my example, that is if you want to learn any English language, then we will start from learning the alphabet. After that, by using the alphabets we can create words. Okay, after creating the words, we will start to create the sentences by using the different words, and after writing the sentence we can write the paragraph. Same here, if you want to write programs in CPP, first we have to know about the character set, which characters are used in the CPP language. After that, by using these character we can make the words like identifiers, keywords, variables. Okay, after that, by using that words like variables, identifiers, we can write single statement into the C++ language. Okay, while learning the English we consider the grammar. Okay, by using that grammar and words we can make the perfect sentences in this C++ language. By using the syntax and variables, tokens, keywords, we can write the statements, and after creating the statement we can write program. Like in the English we can write the paragraph, in the C++ we can write the programs. Okay, so first see the character set. A set of characters that either individually or in the combination represented some information. It is known as the character set. In the C++ program, it made up of sequence of characters, and it consists of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, digit, special symbols, and white spaces. Okay, the letters and digits is known as the alphanumeric set. In the C++, we can use the alphabets like A, B, C, D up to Z in the lowercase letter as well as in a uppercase letter, and we can use the digit from 0, 1, 2 up to 9. We can use the different symbols also called as the special symbols, like we can use the ampersand, caret, asterisk, minus sign. Okay, here I am not showing these special symbols because you already know these symbols, because we have used these symbols into C language. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, opening square bracket, closing square bracket, again opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket, hash, equal to symbol, vertical bar, right slash, backslash, tilde operator, dollar sign, percentage, dot, comma, semicolon. These are the different special symbols. Okay, and what is the white space? You already know the /n for the new line. So what is that white spaces means? The class of characters or set of characters which are not printed but it cause some action are commonly known as the control characters or white spaces. Means have you remembered that if you write /n, then it is not printed on the output screen, but it will cause one action, like it will create new line in the output screen. So /n, it is a white space character. So there are different white space character like /b, which is used for backspace, /t for the horizontal tab, /v for vertical tab, okay, \n for new line, etc. These are the white spaces. Now we will start the tokens. What is token? The smallest individual unit the smallest individual units in program are known as tokens. Okay. Also, tokens are the basic building blocks of C++ programming language, which is constructed together to write C++ program. Also, we can call it as a smallest unit of a program. Token is smallest unit of a program. In token, it contains what? Keywords, identifiers, constant, strings, operators, and special symbols. That special symbols we already seen. Now, let's start with the keywords. What is keyword? Keywords are the reserved words. Okay, keywords are the words whose meaning already explained to the compiler. So we cannot use keyword as a identifier, or we cannot use keyword as a name of variable, name of function, name of array, name of class, etc. Because the meaning, the special meaning is given to the keyword by the compiler. So if you try to use keyword as a variable name or identifier, the compiler gets confused. Okay, so keywords are the reserved words. We cannot use it as a identifier or variable names. In C language there are 32 keywords, but in CPP language 52 keywords. Here are the some keywords which are used in the C++ language. See here, some: auto, break, case, catch, char, that is a characteristic, char, class, constant, continue, default, delete, double, else, enum, extern, float, for, friend, go to, if, etc. These are the different keywords which are used in the C++ language. Again, I want to show you that these keyword, suppose take example, that is case or class, if. These keywords are displayed in a white color on the Turbo C++. See here. Now class. Now see here, after completing this word class, it will become a white. Suppose take another, if is a keyword, so if it is also in a white for. Okay, but suppose number 1, it is not in a white color. This is just hint how to how to guess which are the keywords in the C++. Okay. Now, if you want to list it, then you can note down it into your notes. Next, identifiers. Identifiers refers to the name of variable, functions, array, class, etc. created by the programmer. Each language has its own rule for naming the identifiers. So what is identifier means? Here in a previous example I have written the variable number 1, number 2. This is a identifier which is name given to the variable, function. Suppose I create function like demo. Okay, suppose I create array having name student. Suppose I create class animal. So these are the identifiers. By using this identifier we can identify the variable, function, arrays, etc. An identifier is an arbitrarily long sequence of characters and digits like student name, employee ID. Okay. Now we will see the rules to write identifiers, and these rules are common for both C and CPP. So first rule: only alphabetic characters, digit and underscore are permitted. Means any other special symbols we cannot use in the identifiers like comma, white space, colon. Okay, we can use only alphabet like characters, digit and underscore to write the identifiers. Okay, so second is the name can't start with a digit. The identifier cannot start with digit. We can start it by using the only alphabet or underscore. If you want to write any identifier, then you can use the alphabet as a first first letter, or you can use underscore as a first letter, but we cannot use digit as a first letter of the identifier. Next, uppercase and lowercase letters are distinct. Mean this C++ is a case sensitive language. So the capital A and small a, that is lowercase a, are the two different variables or different identifiers in the C++ language. And last, a declared keyword can't be used as a variable name. Okay, means we cannot use keyword as a identifiers in the C++ language. So for this we will see again here. Open the previous file. That is our first.cpp. Here we have given the variables like number 1, number 2, sum, sub. Suppose I make change here, that is one number. So this one is having the red background. We cannot use digit as a first letter in the variable, but we can use underscore as a first letter in the variable declaration or identifier declaration. Okay, again A and this uppercase A are the two different variables. These are the two different variables. Both are the letter A, but this is a lowercase and this is a uppercase. Because of C++ is a case sensitive language, we can use both the lowercase and uppercase letters as a different identifier. Okay. Next, these are the void, int, these are the keywords, and we cannot use keyword as a variable. Suppose I write if is a variable, and now I will compile this program. It will show error, that is what? Undefined symbol num1, declaration terminated incorrectly, because see here, I will correct it num1, and again I will compile this program. Now it will show declaration terminated incorrectly. Okay, why? Because if is a keyword, so we cannot use it as a variable name. Okay, what is the next rule? Okay, these are the 4 rules of the writing identifiers. Now here I will give you some examples of the identifiers. That is, suppose num1, student. These are the valid identifiers. Salary, these are the valid. Okay, but this is invalid because it starts by using the number. Again, suppose stud space info, it is also invalid identifier because here is a space and we cannot use space in a identifiers. Again, atto, it is not a identifier because it is a keyword, so we cannot use atto as a identifier. Okay, now you can familiar with the identifiers. Next, variables in C++. A variable provides us with named storage that our program can manipulate. Each variable in C++ has a specific type which determines the size and layout of a variable's memory. Okay. So, what is variable? A named memory location used to store data. Means in the CPP language, suppose if you want to store any data which is imported from the user, we have to give the name for that storage. So, in a memory location, there are different parts and in that we can store our data. But to store the data, first we have to give name to that storage. So, variable is named given to that storage location. Means suppose when we declare integer A is a variable name. So, this A name is given to that storage in the memory location. Now suppose if you want to store value 10 into the memory, so this 10 is stored into the memory location which have the variable name A. For that purpose, see here, we declared integer num1, num2, sum, sub, A, capital A. These are the variables. Means these are the name given to the memory location. In the memory, there are different space or different compartments and these names are given to that compartment, like number 1. And here is a data type. Now this number 1 has the data type integer, so it required how much? It requires 4 bytes to store the information. Suppose float price, means this price variable has the data type float, so it required again 4 bytes to store the value for the price. Suppose character, it requires 1 byte to store the value in the variable AB. I repeat once again, character has the 1 byte, integer has 2 byte and float has the 4 byte to store the data. Now see here the rules to write the variable which are same as the identifiers. First, variable name in C++ can range from 1 to 255 characters. All variables name must begin with a letter of the alphabet or an underscore, like a identifier. After the first initial letter, variable name can also contain letters and number. Variable names are case sensitive. That is, uppercase and lowercase are different. No space or special characters are allowed, and we can use we cannot use C++ keyword as a variable name. Now see here how to declare variable. So C++ is a strongly typed language and require every variable to be declared with its type before its first use. Means if you want to use any variable in that case you have to declare it before it use. Okay, this information this inform the compiler the size to reserve in memory for the variable and how to interpret its value. Means when we declare any variable, the compiler allocate memory for that variable depending on the data type of that variable. Means as we seen that if variable is a character data type, then it will allocate 1 byte for that variable. Suppose that variable has the integer data type, then compiler will allocate 2 bytes for the area. In number it is float data type, so it will, or compiler will allocate 4 bytes for the number. Okay, here is the syntax how to declare a variable. First we have to write the data type space variable name. These are the example: character C, integer area, number float. That is, C is the variable having data type character, area is a integer type of variable, number is a float type of variable. Okay, so declaring a variable we have to write first data type and variable name. In C++ language we can declare variable anywhere in the program, but it is must declare before its first use. Again, if you want to declare more than one variable, then we can write just like integer a comma b comma c. So comma is used to separate the variables. We can use single line to declare more variables, integer a, b, c. Like suppose if you want to declare 2 character variable, then we can write character name 1 comma name 2. So comma is used to separate 2 variables. If declaring more than one variable of the same type, they can all be declared as a single statement by separating their identifiers with commas. Okay, so this is the declaration of a variable. Next, initialization of variable. It is possible for a variable to have a specific value from the moment it is declared. Means this is called as the initialization of the variable. Means when we declare any variable, it don't has any value, it contains garbage value. Okay, means initially it is a blank variable, but if you want to give any value to that variable, then we can give it by using the equal to operator, that is a assignment operator. So initialization means what? Giving the value to the identifier is known as the initialization. Here is the syntax: type identifier equal to initial value. See here example: integer a is a variable, integer is a data type, and now by using this assignment operator we are giving 10 value to the variable a. This is a initialization and declaration. We can write variable declaration and initialization in a single statement. Also we can declare any variable previously and we can give initial value to that variable in anywhere in the program. So we can write different statement for the variable declaration and variable initialization. Means you can initialize variable anywhere in the program. Means suppose here I write number equal to 10, okay, and number 2 equal to 15. Now see here we can assign the value to the variable at the declaration time. So here declaring and initializing of variable is in a single statement, but here we already declared the number 2 variable, and here we are going to assign 15 value to that number 2 anywhere in the program. Here see here, suppose I want to store 90 value in a sum. So here also we can initialize any value. Okay. This is the initialization of variable. Here we completed the character set, tokens, keywords, identifiers, variables, how to declare a variable and how to initialize variable. These points in this session. In the next lecture we will start by describing the constant.